From spongy moths to astronomy. Étienne Léopold Trouvelot was a French illustrator who emigrated to the United States in the mid-1800s. While he made a living from his drawings, he was also an amateur entomologist. He had an interest in insects, and he raised silk moths on his property in the state of Massachusetts. The caterpillars of these moths, or silkworms, were to thank for a successful silk industry in Europe, but they were also vulnerable to diseases. Trouvelot wanted to create a better protected variety, so he set about trying to crossbreed his silk moths with spongy moths obtained from Europe. He chose spongy moths because their caterpillars were covered in hairs, which deterred birds and other animals from eating them. They also fed mainly on the leaves of oak trees, which were common where Trouvelot lived. Unfortunately, some of these spongy moths escaped and, because they had no natural predators, multiplied rapidly in the wild. Over the next few decades, spongy moth populations grew out of control, and their caterpillars were responsible for stripping many trees of their leaves in nearby forests. Since then, spongy moths have spread across large areas of the northeastern United States, and they remain a problematic invasive species. According to the first paragraph, Étienne Léopold Trouvelot, 1. Hoped to grow the silk industry in Europe by taking moths there that he collected in the United States. 2. Bred a new variety of moth that helped to save the silk industry by increasing the amount of silk that could be produced. 3. Accidentally introduced a species of moth to the United States that caused widespread environmental damage. 4. Found a way to protect spongy moths from a fatal disease that had greatly reduced their numbers in Europe. The spongy moth incident marked the end of Trouvelot's hopes of becoming a respected entomologist, but a rare natural phenomenon led him to a different field of study. Not long after his moths escaped, a solar storm caused an aurora to be visible in Massachusetts, and Trouvelot was inspired to make illustrations of the lights that appeared in the night sky. These illustrations turned out to be so good that Trouvelot was invited to work at a well-known U.S. observatory. There, he began making detailed and beautiful astronomical drawings by painstakingly recording the images he saw through telescopes. What is implied about Trouvelot in the second paragraph? 1. He always regretted turning down an offer to work in a famous observatory. 2. He ended up pursuing a career in astronomy as the result of an unexpected event. 3. He succeeded in fulfilling his childhood dream of doing research related to the night sky. 4. He only decided to study astronomy because doing so allowed him to stay in the United States. Trouvelot's drawings allowed people to visualize planets and moons in a way that had not been possible before. Today, Trouvelot's work is widely recognized as being responsible for increasing public interest in astronomy, a field that had previously been out of reach to most people. Modern astrophotography technology, which allows astronomers to take high-quality photographs with telescopes, has also revealed the astounding accuracy of Trouvelot's drawings. His illustrations closely match recent photographs despite the fact that they were created using regular art materials. Ironically, it was the same astrophotography that made his drawings unnecessary. This did not prevent them from being appreciated, however they are now exhibited in museums for people to enjoy. What does the author of the passage describe as ironic? 1. Trouvelot's work would likely have been less accurate if he had been able to use the materials that are available today. 2. Trouvelot never became well-known during his lifetime because most people had little interest in astronomy. 3. The scientific value of Trouvelot's drawings prevents them from being put on public display for people to enjoy. 4. The technology that proved the high quality of Trouvelot's illustrations was also responsible for them becoming unnecessary.